Welcome to the College Investor Audio Show, where we talk about the biggest issues impacting millennial money, from student loan debt to side hustles to building wealth. We will show you how to get out of debt so that you can build real wealth for the future.
If you happen to be looking for the top-of-the-line tax software to make DIY tax filing as simple as absolutely possible, TurboTax delivers in 2020. That's what we're looking at today on the College Investor Audio Show, the TurboTax review for 2021. Okay, unfortunately, let's start with this. The price of the software could be a turnoff for many bargain hunters. Should you use TurboTax to file your tax return this year? This review is going to explain what makes sense to use the software, when it makes sense, and when you should look elsewhere. TurboTax, can you really file for free? If you're a W-2 income earner who may qualify for the Earned Income Tax Credit or the Child Tax Credit, you can really use TurboTax to file your taxes for free. This year, TurboTax has also expanded its free tier to include unemployment income reported on a 1099-G form. People who have those situations will pay $0 to file federal taxes and $0 to file your state return. As an added bonus, filers who qualify for the free tier can have their returns reviewed by a certified enrolled agent for free if they file by February 15th. This is the only free offer that we've seen where a person reviews taxes. Interesting. However, not everyone will qualify for TurboTax's free tier. People who contributed to a traditional IRA cannot qualify for the free tier. Likewise, individuals who, if you contributed to an HSA, IRS Form 8889, or you want to deduct student loan interest, IRS Form 1098E, you'll need to upgrade to at least the deluxe level. If you don't qualify for the completely free version, check out H&R Block, which is supporting free filing for people with education-related expenses, including student loan interest. Okay, so let's take a look at what's new in 2021. TurboTax is significantly increasing ease of use by allowing users to connect their accounts directly to TurboTax. And then, once you're connected, TurboTax will automatically upload any relevant tax documents. Pretty cool. It also allows users to upload relevant tax documents directly to the site. This can streamline entering information related to interest or capital gains. Our favorite new feature may be the interest-free refund advance loan. This loan is available to anyone expecting a refund in 21. The loan ranges from $250 to $2,000 based on your expected refund, of course, and can be funded as soon as right now. I'm not kidding. Unlike lots of loans you'll see at this time of year, the interest-free loan is free from gotchas, except that the loan does come on a prepaid debit card. Not really a gotcha, but just want to keep that in mind. TurboTax is also leaning into the user experience in 2021. Users who qualify for free filing can have their returns reviewed by an enrolled agent for free before filing. Filers at every tier have access from product support specialists who can help with navigation problems, finding forms, and getting through the software. TurboTax pricing plans. So TurboTax consistently has high prices. The current prices are at the top of the market. While the quality of the software justifies that price to a certain extent, other companies are catching up, though. I recommend some of the less expensive options, like Tax Slayer, Free Tax USA, or H&R Block for most users. Unlike some previous years, TurboTax is no longer offering a free QuickBooks subscription for people springing for the self-employed version of the software. That makes the premium pricing a little more difficult to follow. However, the self-employed user experience is better than ever. In spite of the high pricing, it might be worth the money. All pricing tiers do include free technical support, but you do have to pay to get a review and support on demand from a CPA. TurboTax tends to adjust prices throughout the tax season. December and January are the absolute best time to lock in low rates. You can see the updated pricing structure, follow along too with it, at thecollegeinvestor.com. TurboTax navigation. So TurboTax's navigation is truly second to none. When you first get started, TurboTax asks you a few simple questions about what sections may apply to you. Then, it gives you a list of forms to prepare. If you're someone who struggles with organization, this list is a valuable resource to get started. Since many of the forms are standard, you're allowed to upload the documents straight to TurboTax. TurboTax will read the forms and pre-populate the relevant portions of the software for you. Once you're in TurboTax, you can opt for guided navigation, or you can turn it off and walk yourself through. TurboTax does a fantastic job of simplifying jargon and walking users through complicated topics. One great new feature in 2021 is the introduction of TurboTax's product specialists. If you're struggling with the software, you can work directly with a product specialist to help you learn how to navigate the software, find forms, and find out other questions too. Awesome! This help is included at no cost to users. It is not the same as tax help from an enrolled CPA or agent, but it can be helpful for first-time filers. If you're looking for simple navigation that makes sense for, humans, TurboTax has what you need. TurboTax ease of use. Such a simple navigation, built-in explainers, easy imports for many documents, and a great user interface. TurboTax impressed us again with its ease of use. Unlike many tax filing tools, TurboTax makes it super easy to find what you need and move on. The built-in calculators are impressive. Unlike many tax software programs, TurboTax typically auto-completes different sections based on certain assumptions about you. However, users always have the option to override those calculations. TurboTax consistently creates great new integrations to make tax filing easier. This year, it focused on the Snap a Picture of 1099 NEC forms as well as the Connect to Financial Institutions feature. What? TurboTax Knowledge Articles. Now, they also have a great library of knowledge articles, but the best part of TurboTax is that you may not need any of them. The software includes lots of pithy explainers throughout, and on top of that, each section has explain why links, so you can easily learn what you need. The quality of TurboTax's knowledge articles is so awesome. Each article ends with either a call to action explaining how you can input information related to the article or links to more detailed articles. And here are some extras with TurboTax. In addition to offering the base software package, TurboTax offers Live, which includes help from a CPA or an enrolled agent. Since this is included for people who qualify for the free tier, it's useful as an add-on. That said, I don't recommend upgrading to Live unless you actually have questions at the end of the process. The additional $50 to $100 price tag seems a little steep when you might even not use the service. TurboTax also offers a Max Defend and Restore option for $60. This covers audit assistance and help in the event that your identity is stolen through the tax process. An identity theft resolution specialist will walk you through any potential problems until your identity is restored. The $60 price tag is steep, but it could be a valuable insurance policy, so keep that in mind. The only audit protection includes representation by an expert if the IRS audits you. And at that point, $60 will feel like a bargain. So can TurboTax Online help you file your crypto investments? That's a fantastic question. And yes, it makes it easy for crypto traders to file taxes when you buy or sell cryptocurrencies. The software allows you to import crypto trading transactions directly into the software. And it does the financial calculations for you. Ding! You will need to pay for the Premier level or higher to access the crypto section of the tax filing software, though. While the Premier level is expensive, TurboTax is one of the few filing companies that is focusing on tax filing in the crypto space. TurboTax. Is it secure? It does allow for multi-factor authentication, but it is possible to bypass the second-factor authentication when you're using a recognized device. I was kind of disappointed to see that even when I was on an unsecured network, I wasn't sent a text message for verification when I signed in on the same device. Eek! I don't want to throw too much shade on TurboTax for this little tiny glitch. I did choose to make the computer recognizable before checking on the security. Can I request my stimulus check through TurboTax? The 2021 coronavirus stimulus package included checks for up to $1,200 per taxpayer and $500 per child under 17. If you earned more than $75,000 in adjusted gross income after deductions, you may have gotten a smaller paycheck. Anyone who was overpaid will not have to repay the stimulus money. Anyone who was underpaid based on their 2020 income can file for a recovery rebate credit, which retroactively pays the stimulus money. You will need an IRS letter notice 1444, your economic impact payment, to file for this credit, though. TurboTax allows users to upload this document and request the appropriate credit at tax time. Now we move along to take a look at how TurboTax stacks up to the competition. This year is being compared to Tax Act, H&R Block, Free Tax USA, and Tax Slayer. H&R Block consistently comes close to matching TurboTax in terms of user experience. Tax Act, another major accounting software, is priced a little lower, but it has a less fluid user experience. Free Tax USA and Tax Slayer are both added to the mix because these are bargain software with robust user experiences. If you don't qualify for a free software, it might be worth looking into one of the lesser-known options. And there's a huge chart and graph to kind of compare all of these different things. I'm not going to go through it on a podcast. That would be confusing. So check it out at thecollegeinvestor.com. Now, on the pricing front, TurboTax is definitely more expensive than the competition. Now, the pricing is especially apparent for deluxe filers and landlords and investors who kind of need to bump up to the premier categories. But despite the higher prices, TurboTax is an incredibly easy-to-use software that continues to be priced competitively enough for self-employed people and landlords alike to consider it. So here are some final thoughts on 2021 TurboTax. TurboTax is once again delivering an incredible user experience. It makes tax filing intuitive and relatively simple, even for people with complex filing situations. But such a premium product generally comes at a high price. If you don't qualify for TurboTax's free pricing tier, the price can be tough to swallow. Anyone who needs to use depreciation calculators, some self-employed people and landlords, for example, should continue to consider TurboTax in spite of the high prices. And keep in mind, it is superior software for crypto traders. Outside of those two groups, I recommend trying to find a better value elsewhere. H&R Block offers a very good user experience at a lower price. Bargain hunters who are willing to sacrifice a bit on usability can find a great deal through Free Tax USA. And then, finally, Tax Slayer shows some promise as an easy-to-use and competitively priced alternative to H&R Block and TurboTax. And that is our review. Man, I hope that was helpful. You can actually dig in deep on all of the different pricing comparisons to some of the different more popular tax software at thecollegeinvestor.com. Search for this, TurboTax, and you'll find it. Thanks so much for stopping by today. We'll talk to you again very soon. Happy tax filing!